So at the moment I'm here in Sri Lanka, and so I've been editing and working away on the laptop in aeroplanes and trains and airports and cheap hostels like this one, which may not be the best way to work, but it's kind of worth it when you get to spend most of the day in a new country with a different culture. So before I left, I filmed the portable editing workstation that I have brought with me for this trip, and I thought I'd share that with you, as well as some reasons why I'm out here in Sri Lanka. So it starts with this MacBook Pro, which is a couple of years old, but definitely able to handle the basics of editing. Along with it, I've got some noise cancelling headphones, which are definitely worth having for airplanes and if you're anywhere near a city in India. The noise of the roads really takes some getting used to. I also brought plenty of earplugs for when I'm doing something that doesn't need sound, like colour grading or editing photos. Now when I bought the laptop, I went for the version with the smallest hard drive, just 120 gigs, knowing that I'd be using external drives for all my footage anyway. But then I ended up using these big bulky drives that had to be plugged into the wall, so it wasn't ideal. But this time, I'm actually using the G Drive mobile SSD from G Technology, who have sponsored this video. So I'm not going to spend ages talking about this thing because it pretty much sells itself, but this is a 500GB hard drive and they do go up to 2 terabytes. It's easily fast enough for editing and really nice and small, which is great for traveling. It's water and dust resistant, crush proof, etc. So I really haven't worried about chucking my bag around or getting soaked in the Sri Lankan rain. I also brought another drive which doesn't need to be so fast or tough, since I'll just be using it as a backup, because you always got to have a backup. So let's race through these last travelling essentials. I brought a surge protector, since I've heard horror stories of people's laptops being fried by dodgy sockets, and this one has USB slots too. Of course, a couple of local adapters are essential, and a laptop sleeve for a bit of padding and protection. Last of all, a bit of anti-theft. I've got a lock for the backpack or hostel lockers, and I've put my laptop on the travel insurance just in case. So the whole idea with this stuff is that it should allow me to work while being safe from electrical surges, extreme weather, hard drive failures, and noisy distractions, as well as, hopefully, theft. But more than that, it's all been chosen to be as compact and lightweight as possible. It easily fits into my pack, along with all my clothes and everything else. So that's the setup. Pretty simple, and I've gone and put all the purchase links in the description in case you are interested. But while we're here, let's talk about editing on the move. Now, in the end, I didn't actually get that much work done, just a few hours in the evenings here and there, and I'm actually glad about that, because I have been a person who brings my work with me everywhere, all the time, and I did spend most of my late teenage years working all the time, trying to establish myself as a freelancer. I'm a bit of a workaholic, I have been for years, so going somewhere that was so different on so many levels really was a welcome jolt out of my routine. Living out of a backpack, constantly having dirt under my fingernails, chapped lips and unwashed clothes, putting on mosquito spray and not drinking tap water, haggling with tuk-tuk drivers in rupees. All of this stuff initially seemed so unfamiliar, but by the end of the trip, it was normal. And that's the thing, everyone's definition of normal is shifting constantly. Me and my friend Walker were travelling on a pretty tight budget, so if the hostels came with a clean towel and bedding, it was an amazing rarity, rather than just normal. And after the noise of an Indian city had become normal to us, I cannot describe how amazingly quiet and green Sri Lanka felt in comparison. And so now I'm back home with a real bed and clean clothes, fast internet. Surely it must feel like luxury, right? Well, it did for a bit, but then soon enough the definition of normal shifts again, and I'm fighting to remind myself to be grateful. And so I guess what I've realised is that you can be in the most beautiful scenery, sleeping in a sweaty dorm room with bugs and no electricity because of the storms, or you can have a very comfortable lifestyle. And eventually, it will become normal. But through the loud and the quiet, the scenic and the rough, the thing that stays crystal clear in my memory were the people that we got to meet. And I know this is kind of sentimental, but it's honestly been a slap in the face to remind me, do you really need to stress about working enough to chase that luxury lifestyle or that career opportunity, when you could just put down the laptop and go spend some quality time with people? And you don't have to travel far for that.